been a long road for you. Were there any times when you found yourself doubting yourself and your ability to get back to this level?
Well, probably about 3.5 months ago, you know, it was really hard for me to get into my gym and train, you know, let alone just train. When negativity brings you down, you got to find something to uplift you and make you stronger to get past those downlifts, you know, downfalls in life. You know, I went in it for 5 years. You know, a lot of personal stuff I've gone through at home. I have a great trainer, Jason Perillo, Mike Giovanni, you know, Ricardo Brew have supported me. There was 4 guys I trained with, and 3 of those guys I just said the names that pushed me during camp, and each week got better and better and better and better. All the people who follow me on Twitter that say, Tito, you can do this, you can do this. I was doing it to prevail. I wasn't doing it to prove anybody wrong. I was doing it to prove everybody right. And that's what I did tonight. But
to A, do what you said you were going to do, and then B, kind of with the submission. You know, you dominated a guy that was, you know, fighting for the right to fight for the title earlier this year.
Well, you got to understand, I'm healthy now. You know, there's no more excuses. I've really put my time to this camp. I've gone through 2 major surgeries that have been my downfall through the last 6 years. And I've been trying to do as much work as I possibly can to get the win. And I came up short 4 times, 5 times in a row. You know, split decisions, draws, decision. But I've stayed competitive against the top guys in the world. And I think Ryan kind of didn't respect me. For one camp, I've let my hands go. You know, I got to thank Dana for giving me the opportunity to fight someone like Ryan. Joe Silva, same thing. And Lorenzo for giving me this opportunity as a fighter to get in there and compete. I have the hunger to be at the top again. I did what Johnny Bones couldn't do, and that was finish Ryan Bader in the first round, and I did that. I'm healthy, I feel good. My mind's in a good place right now. You know, family's good, everything's good around me. Now I just need to uplift myself and continue doing what I'm doing.
You mentioned that it's been 5 years since you sat up there and talked after a win. How long has it felt? Has it felt every day? Have you felt every day of those 5 years? I mean, has it felt like a long, long time since you've had your hand raised?
You know, one fight I felt like I ripped off, but hey, that's behind me now. I don't care, it is where it is. But it does eat at you, you know. You gotta have something to motivate you. You gotta have something to uplift your spirits and feel that win, you know. When you have confidence behind you, you're unstoppable. And you know, look at Johnny Bones Jones, he's unstoppable because his confidence is through the roof. And you gotta build those things. Of course, I haven't had easy fights to try to get those wins and get that confidence up, but I've been challenged. I've been challenged by Dana, I've been challenged by Lorenzo and Joe Silva to show the great fighter I truly am. And I think God gave me a gift, you know. I think there's an angel on my shoulder tonight. But I worked hard, you know. My training partners, my coaches, they pushed me hard. You know, when I was saying I couldn't go that 6th round, they were like, bullshit, Tito, you got it in you, push yourself. And physically, I'm able to do it now, thanks to Dr. William Smith out of here in Las Vegas who did the surgeries on me. The surgeries I've gone through, athletes don't come back. They're done. Not me. I have too much drive. I have too much to live in this life, and I'm gonna live this life to the fullest. And tonight, it starts.
Can you just kind of talk about the fight, especially the series that led to the finish? You know, the right hand, and just talk what was going through your mind through that ordeal.
I had an out-of-body experience. I just kind of was watching myself do it. Everything was in slow-mo. It was kind of like in the Matrix. It was weird. It was really weird. For the first time, everything was super slow. He was punching. It was like block. I was like, oh, that was it. It was weird. He kicked and was like, oh, that was it. And Jason Perillo, my boxing coach, we've been working so much, and he's a small, he's like 140, but he's super fast. And I was getting used to his speed, so when I got in front of Bader, it was just like a big, slow guy in front of me, and it changed everything. Like I say, everything got slowed down, and I hit him with a shot, and I watched his knees buckle, and I was like, ooh, I got him hurt. Ground and pound, and Ricardo Brew, my jiu-jitsu coach, we worked a lot in the guillotine prior, and we shot in the shot, and a lot of wrestlers make the mistake of leaving their neck out hanging out long, and he did, and I sunk the guillotine. All I thought in my mind was get my elbow down to the mat. Put my elbow to the mat, and I just squeezed, and I felt him pull his head out, and instead of pulling out away from it, I just crunched into it, and he tapped, and I didn't want to let go because I wasn't sure what was going on, because like I say, I had a out-of-body experience. I didn't really know how to react. I was like, I'm not letting go until the referee rips me off, and it went. I don't mean to hold on to the submission more than it was supposed to, but I wasn't letting go. I wanted to win. I mean, I'm like an animal out there. I know, did I look like an animal?
And Tito, you know how mixed martial arts is. As soon as you get the win, everybody wants to know what's next for you. Obviously, you want to enjoy this win, but when you look at what the next step is, I mean, how soon would you like to get back in there, and what are your immediate goals right now?
I'm healthy now. You know, I feel great. You know, once again I'm going to leave my career in Dana's hands. You know, 14 years ago, or actually 13 years ago, when he came to my apartment and says, "Let me manage you. I'm going to take care of your career." I made some mistakes from now until then, and I had a lot of people in my ears who were saying some bad things, and I got lost. And I found myself. I kind of reinvented myself, and I went to Dana and I apologized for things I said prior, and it's behind me now, and hopefully I can build that bridge back again where they put me on the pedestal where I need to be. I'm a UFC fighter.
You want to applaud? Sorry. Tito, thanks for making my mom some money tonight.
I made a lot of people money tonight. I was going to bet on myself too, and I didn't. That's just superstitious, but I did. But thank you, Dana, for the submission of the night. That was worth the bet, I guess. I don't know. Now I can have that money and put away some money for my sons and maybe go gamble a little bit tonight. Because my luck's so damn good.
Congratulations, you got a submission. There were some people here in the media cheering for you. You won. Some people didn't even know what you were doing, the gravedigger thing. Didn't even know what that was. Haven't seen it in a while. Not to diss you, but I'm just saying.
No. You gotta understand. I was at the Ultimate Fighter on Thursday. We got a great team, and there's some tough kids in there. And I was showing them some ground and pound stuff, and one of the kids was like, "Tito, man, I've been watching you since I was like junior high school." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks for dating me." And he's like, "Will you do that gravedigger thing again?" I was like, "I can't, man." And they were begging me, like, "Please, please, please, please." I can't do it. I gotta wait till Saturday before I do it. And they looked at me. They go, "You think so?" I guarantee it. And you'll watch the Ultimate Fighter and you'll see the whole situation goes down. I wouldn't do it. The only time I do it is when I win. It's been a long time for me. I dreamt about that. The whole match, everything. I already replayed it in my head over and over again. So when it happened, it was just second since it was happening. And then I was having an out-of-body experience, and I was like, wow, look at myself. And when I raised my hand, I looked and he said, "Tito Ortiz the winner," and I had my hands up. After every training session, I had my hands up because I knew in my mind, positive reinforcement, knowing that I was going to win. And I dreamt it, I lived it, now I got it.
Where do you rank yourself right now?
Where do I rank myself? Rankings don't mean shit. What means? Joe Silva. Oh, cheers? Or you said? Oh, yeah, no. What really means the most in ranking anything is Joe Silva give me great fights. And making sure I get those great fights with my hand raised. That's what matters. Rankings don't mean shit at all, as I proved tonight.
Tito, if I could ask you, you're kind of like the last man standing after Chuck retired last year, and then here, and I guess apparently Vanderlei tonight. And I wonder if you can comment on, you know, Vanderlei, another legendary fighter who you fought in an epic fight many years ago. Kind of, is it going to be different without all those, you know, peers of yours now still hanging around?
Well, you got to understand, I took my career very smart. I mean, fans say, "Oh, Tito's a ground and pound guy." Yeah, because I don't want to get punched in the face. Yeah, you show a guy that likes to get punched in the face, I'll show you a stupid guy. Yeah, it's awesome for the fans to see someone get knocked out, and I don't want to get knocked out. I like having a great conversation with people where they understand what I'm talking about, and you know, I'm not slurring my words and things like that. But you understand, this is hand-to-hand combat. You see boxers dying, you know, they have an average of 2 to 3 deaths a year. UFC has never had a death to this date because, you know, us fighters, we intelligently defend ourselves at all time. And, you know, just the brain damage that happens from getting blows. I'm not that type of guy. I'm going to shoot on you. You hit me, I'm going to shoot. I'm shooting. That's not automatic. I mean, I guarantee it. I'm a smart man. I don't want to get punched in the face. But, you know, I look at the guys who are retired now, you know, Chuck, after his last loss, and Dana can say if I did or not, I text him saying, "Is Chuck okay?" Chuck was my friend, man. All they want to sell the fight as much as possible. At the end of the day, Chuck was my friend. And that's the way I've always thought of it. Randy, I almost cried when I seen him lose the way he did. I've looked up to Randy my whole career. Me and him fought on the same night, UFC 13, and see what happened. When I seen Vanderlei get knocked out tonight, I was just like, wow. But then I look at it and look at my age. I just turned 36. Chuck was in his prime at 36. He was knocking people out left and right. Randy was in his prime at 36, dominating people. I'm still young. I got in the game when I was young. I never fought anywhere else. I fought in UFC since the beginning of my, I was an amateur fighting UFC. I fought for free. But I kind of reinvented myself, I think. But the most thing behind all of it is being injury-free. Back surgery, neck surgery were the main #1 things that I've recovered from. And I made that goal happen with hard work and dedication to keep my mind strong.
You got the guys on the 01ers on the UG going nuts. Anything you want to say to all the fans on the UG?
Thanks for the support, you know. I proved everyone right that supported me. And haters, keep hating. It is what it is, man. I've had a lot of support for this one. It's been awesome. There's so many people doubted me. And I looked at the betting lines. Minus 400? 550? Jeez. Come on. Are you kidding me? Look at the guys I competed against. Or plus. I was thinking Ryan, but it's behind him now. I'm happy, man. I love this feeling. This feeling feels great. I've been dying for this feeling. From a young punk kid who was on the streets who didn't have shit, had no one behind him. And once again, I was in that same situation. I had no one behind me, besides my training partners who said, Tito, you couldn't do it. I'm living the American dream, man. Thanks to Lorenzo and Dana for giving me this opportunity as a fighter to get in here and fight my ass off. I could provide for my family. I could give my kids what my father never gave to me. And it's through hard work and dedication to being a good dad. And that's what I'm doing. As a fighter, as a father, as a businessman, I'm going to continue thriving. And all of these fighters up here, man, you got to give your hands to every one of them because we put on an awesome show tonight. Thanks to the MGM. Our pay-per-view numbers hopefully are soaring better than they did last year. We put on a show tonight. Yeah. All of us paid, man. All of us came out. We banged. We put on a show. We put on some knockout submissions and an awesome fight of the night. Every one of us, man. Joe Silva put a great card together, and we came out banging. We came on, like I said, fireworks are going to be early this year. It was on July 2nd.